Dear child, God has told me to warn you about something important, something that I believe you need to pay close attention to. I feel a deep sense of urgency to share this with you, and I pray that you take this warning seriously. It's not something I say lightly, and I hope that by passing it along, you will be prepared for what lies ahead. There's a woman who has been talking behind your back. I don't know all the details, and I don't have the full picture, but I'm compelled to tell you this because it's significant. It may not seem like a big deal at first glance, and perhaps you might even brush it off, but there's something more to this situation than meets the eye, and I encourage you not to dismiss it. This woman, for whatever reason, has been spreading things about you, and not in a good way. Her words are not meant to build you up or encourage you. Rather, they are intended to undermine your reputation and sow discord among those around you. I know how hard it is to hear something like this, but I want you to be aware so that you can approach the situation with wisdom. It might feel hurtful or confusing to know that someone you might have trusted is speaking negatively about you. But this is a reminder that not everyone around you is always as they appear. Sometimes people act out of jealousy, insecurity, or personal grievances that have nothing to do with you. And yet, their words and actions can still have a harmful effect. So, while you might not have done anything to deserve this, it's still important to recognize the reality of what's happening and take steps to protect yourself from any fallout. God has given me this message to share with you because I believe it's crucial for you to be aware of the situation. It's not just about the words being said, but the impact they can have. Even though you may not be able to control what others say or think, you do have control over how you respond. Your reaction in the face of this challenge will determine a lot about how you move forward, and that's why I'm urging you not to skip this warning. I can only imagine that you might feel a sense of disbelief or frustration. It's not easy to process the idea that someone might be speaking against you, especially if you've treated them with kindness or respect. It's hard to grasp why people act the way they do, especially when their actions are hurtful. But remember, this is not a reflection of who you are, but rather a reflection of what's going on inside the person doing the talking. Now, I'm not suggesting that you confront this woman right away or make any rash decisions. Instead, I'm encouraging you to be vigilant and watchful. Stay aware of what's happening around you and pay attention to any changes in the way people treat you or speak to you. Sometimes the signs can be subtle, but they're often there if you're paying attention. It's also important to remember that God sees everything. Even though you may feel isolated or like you're being unfairly treated, know that He knows the truth of the situation. His timing and His justice will always prevail, and while it may not be immediate, He will make sure that what's done in the dark will eventually come to light. You don't have to fight this battle on your own, and you certainly don't have to stoop to the level of those who are speaking against you. Trust in God's plan and in His ability to protect you, even when you feel vulnerable or uncertain. At the same time, don't allow yourself to become discouraged or disheartened. Even though this woman may be speaking behind your back, it doesn't define who you are or what you're capable of. Keep focusing on your own growth, your own journey, and the people who genuinely have your best interests at heart. There will always be those who try to tear you down, but the strength and resilience you possess cannot be taken away by the opinions of others. If this situation does escalate, don't feel as though you have to carry the burden alone. Lean on trusted friends, family members, or mentors who can offer support and guidance. It's easy to feel isolated when something like this happens, but there are people who care about you and will stand by your side. Seek them out, and don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. In moments like these, it's crucial to protect your heart and mind. Negative words, even if they are untrue, can sometimes find a way into our thoughts and affect our emotional well-being. Be mindful of the mental space you're occupying and make sure that you're not allowing this situation to take up more of your energy than it should. Refocus your thoughts on what is true, on what is good, and on what is uplifting. Surround yourself with positive influences that remind you of who you are and what you stand for. I know that this message might seem overwhelming, and it might be difficult to fully grasp what is going on right now. But I want you to know that you are not alone in this. God is with you, and He is watching over you every step of the way. Trust in His guidance, and remember that He is your protector, your advocate, and your defender. No matter what anyone says about you, He knows the truth, and His opinion is the only one that truly matters. There may be moments where you feel tempted to retaliate or to engage with the person who is speaking against you. However, I encourage you to rise above it. Responding in kind will only give power to the negativity and could lead to more conflict. Instead, choose to walk in integrity, hold your head high, and let your actions speak louder than words. People will notice how you carry yourself, especially when faced with adversity, and that can be a powerful testimony in and of itself. Remember that God often uses difficult situations to refine us, to shape our character, and to help us grow in ways we didn't expect. While this woman's words may feel like a setback, trust that God can turn even the most painful moments into opportunities for growth. You may not understand the purpose behind this right now, but in time, you'll see how this experience has helped you become stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the challenges that lie ahead. Take this message to heart. Don't ignore it, and don't brush it off. I believe that God has placed this warning in my heart for a reason, and I trust that He will guide you through whatever comes next. Stand firm in your faith, protect your peace, and know that you are not defined by the words of others. You are defined by who you are in Christ, and that is more than enough.